Hey adventurers, this is Mark and welcome to Adventure Pass. Is fall 2026 at Disneyland Resort worth it? So I had the opportunity to visit the parks a few days ago, right when fall launched, and there's a lot going on at Disneyland right now. There's a lot going on, not just at the parks, but at the entire resort. And yeah, now that I actually experienced it, I wanted to talk about today, is the whole experience at that resort worth it for the fall season? Um, right, we have, some major things to consider, such as the Haunted Mansion holiday, the overlay for the Haunted Mansion. We've got Monsters After Dark for Guardians Mission Breakout. There's a few more rides over at Disney California Adventure that received some overlays. Cars Land, that whole land got an overlay. But after the visit, there were some things that I really enjoyed that stood out. So let's get into it. I want to kind of share my thoughts and talk about it and hear what you all think about the fall season over at the Disneyland Resort. So yeah, let's jump into this. So I want to talk about the atmosphere. That is the first thing that you really are going to notice when you go to the resort. And this is really for me, this is the big reason to visit the park. Disneyland always has an incredible atmosphere. But when you inject a season into it, whether it's Christmas time, right? Halloween time, we got fall right now and Halloween. But really, any season you inject into the parks, you just get a different energy. Um, it's so different, right? The giant pumpkin on Main Street, right? As soon as you walk in, and that's my background that you're looking at here, the giant pumpkin on Main Street. For the first time when you see it, you're just like, oh my gosh, wow, this is so amazing. This is awesome. And you're kind of taking those feelings with you when you're walking around through the park all the time, throughout the day, and you're experiencing these things. Um, and what's really cool is like, I hear a lot of people talk about, oh, I have to go do the Oogie Boogie Bash at Disney California Adventure to really experience Halloween time or the fall time at the parks. But the answer is that you really don't. If you can't attend it, it's okay because the resort and the parks, they offer so much for you that you really feel like, I'm getting a lot of value, a lot of free value too, if you're not even going into the park when it comes to the decorations and the opportunity to get some food and things like that. So yes, it's really, really worth it to go in the fall. Again, fall is one of my favorite times. Fall and Christmas, right, back to back. Those are definitely going to be my favorite times of the year to visit the parks. Um, and and something else too to consider is it's not just the daytime, it's nighttime as well. There's a nighttime transformation, especially with the holiday overlays that make the experience so awesome, right? Because the lights with the decorations, it just really, really pops out. Um, so one of the biggest things for a lot of people is going to be the ride overlays, okay? So the big one, the really, really big one is the Haunted Mansion, right? Which is now Haunted Mansion Holiday over at Disneyland, based off the Nightmare Before Christmas. And that one is so much fun. It's amazing. And if you're a fan of A Nightmare Before Christmas, you're going to be in heaven because they do such a good job with the decorations out in the queue. The ride itself is completely transformed. It actually feels like it is its own ride, like its own attraction. Like you don't even really realize it's an overlay. That's how good of a job that Disney does in transforming this attraction. Um, and then you've got over at Disney California Adventure, you got three attractions over there. You've got Mater's Junkyard. Uh, Jamboree. So that's what it is during the day, but for the overlay, it's Mater's Graveyard Jamboree is what they call it. Mater's Graveyard Jamboree. And then you've got Luigi Rollickin' Roadsters, which becomes Luigi's Honkin' Halloween. And those are really fun. Those are really cute for the kids. The songs are different. They've got some decorations up for those attractions as well. And then you've got all of Cars Land is transformed for the fall. And that is it's really cool during the day, but where it really shines is going to be at nighttime. That is something that I highly recommend you do a walkthrough at night in Cars Land during the fall season. It's one of the best eye attractions, right? To see because there's just so much going on. It is a lot of fun. And then lastly, you have Guardians of the Galaxy during the day. It's Mission Breakout, but they do a changeover at 3 p.m. and this is important to know. So right at 3 p.m., it becomes Monsters After Dark, and it's a lot of fun, and it's completely a whole brand new experience that you would have no idea if you did not go back on it. You would miss it. So yeah, I love that Disney does these little things like that. These changes, the Haunted Mansion being the biggest one, right in front of your face. You see it, but then you've got some things that are done like Monsters After Dark, where it's kind of subtle, but they do put that sign out, right? But yeah, 3 o'clock, don't miss it. I highly recommend it. And then, like I said too, Cars Land is transformed into Radiator Screams, and the experience at night, it's just so incredible. Again, that's one of my other recommendations is to catch that land at night. It's super fun just because of all the neon lights. Just really makes it worth it. Um, and then you've got surrounding attractions, right, during this fall time. And it's not just in the parks, but you also have things that if you're not careful, you could miss throughout the Disneyland Resort. Downtown Disney will start there. You've got some Disney characters with pumpkins. You've got these photo opportunity spots, which I think are fantastic. And these spots they're fun. They're gorgeous. They're scattered all the way from each side of the downtown Disney district. So don't miss that. That's really cool. And as you're walking, you can see where the shops are. They have pumpkins. Like there's like a pumpkins. It's like a setting, and they put them above the shops, which I think are which is fun, and it just really adds to the atmosphere. And then you take this a step further, right? So you go visit the hotels. You've got the Grand Californian Hotel, the Disneyland Hotel, Pixar Place Hotel. You're gonna have some fall things happening there that you would never see normally, right? I really love at the Disneyland Hotel for all you Haunted Mansion fans. They got a Haunted Mansion set up on the walkway as you walk through from downtown Disney towards the convention center. They have a Haunted Mansion set up for photo op, which I think is pretty awesome. And it's set up just to look, it has the Haunted Mansion sign just like on the attraction and everything. That's really cool. And then especially at the entrance to the Disneyland Hotel, when you walk in to the lobby, they have a huge mural with the Haunted Mansion depiction, and it's on the wall, and that is really cool. If you haven't seen any of these, check it out on my fall video. These are things that are just awesome to see, and if you don't actively go seek these things out, you can miss these, right? But they are there for the entire fall season. Now, the one thing I'm going to add is on the flip side, right? Since I am doing a review of fall, on the flip side of things, right? The parks can be very crowded, right? So you're going to have to kind of plan for that. Take that in consideration when you're trying to plan your day. You want to get all these things done and you want to see everything. You're gonna hit some crowds. And as the weather starts to get cooler, the crowds are good. The uptake in crowds is going to continue to go up. Okay. Right now, it's been very hot, so crowd levels have been a little bit mild this week. The weekends are still kind of busy, right? Friday, Saturday, Sunday, but expect the crowds to go up as the weather gets cooler uh, as well. So just really important to think about. Um, and I would say that, the other thing that I would say is that the Halloween experiences are stronger than a lot of the other experiences there, just because they just pop out more. There's more attention to the details on those. So you definitely want to make sure you focus on those four Halloween attractions that have been updated, and I even did a video on those four attractions as well. So you can make sure you're catching those. And then, of course, don't forget the shows, right? You got the at Disneyland, you've got the Mickey Mouse and Friends Cavalcade. It's it's a short parade, but it's really fun. And I love how they have Maleficent in that parade. Oh my gosh. Maleficent. She's in the parade in the car. I was like, okay, that was the best for me. That was the best thing. I'm a big Disney villains fan, and Maleficent has always been one of my favorite Disney villains of all time. So again, opportunity to see some of your favorite characters. They always do such a great job with that cavalcade parade. So, final verdict: Is it worth it? Is it worth it to visit the Disneyland Resort in the fall? And that is a resounding yes across the board. Again, it's one of my favorite times of the year, along with Christmas. But you've got some great overlays. You've got some great decorations, the merchandise, the food, and I just love again how the whole resort, all of Disneyland Resort, is transformed. And yeah, you just feel like it's a different time. And I know we're going into the month of September. Um, but I am getting more sold in on getting into the holiday earlier than the actual month of which in which the holiday resides in. I used to be on the other side of that line where I didn't really want to talk about holidays or anything like that until it was within weeks of that particular day. But now I'm starting to see the other side of it, that you get to enjoy more time of that holiday. And I'll tell you what, I'm kind of liking that a lot. I'm actually liking the opportunity to celebrate Halloween time at Disneyland early, and it's more of it. And I'm like, okay, now I see what everybody else has been talking about. But yeah, I think I'm bought in on that, and I absolutely love it. I absolutely love it. Um, so yeah, I want to hear from all of you. What do you guys think? What is the best part of Halloween time at the Disneyland Resort? Okay, is it the overlay rides? Is it the transformation of Radiator Screams? Is it the merch, the food? Is it something different? Let me know in the comments. I want to hear from you. And also, I want to hear, do you enjoy celebrating the holidays a lot earlier before the actual holiday hits? Like I said, I am starting to be a raving fan of that. All right, everybody. Thank you so much for watching. I really, really appreciate it. Subscribe to the channel. I want to hear from you. Thank you so much. And we're going to catch you on the next adventure. Take care, my friends. We'll talk to you soon. Have a great one. Bye for now.